Oh yeah, I see some peach salsa in my future. Hey, good morning, tomato lovers. I hope everybody's having a great Saturday. So, guess what we're going to be doing this morning? We're going to be trying some tomatoes. So, I've got some different kinds of tomatoes here that I've been growing in the garden. So if you can see all those. Aren't those just beautiful? Let me just introduce myself first. My name is Carla. I am a gardener in Northeast Tennessee. I'm a full-time nurse and a part-time gardener, and I love sharing what I learn from gardening on YouTube. I love getting on YouTube and learning other things. So today we're going to do a tomato taste with different kinds of tomatoes, and 3 of these are tomatoes that I have never tried before. So this is the one that I'm the most excited about trying. This is called the Sart Roloise. Look how beautiful that is. So this is a yellow tomato with the black shoulders. The second one we're going to be doing is one that I have tried before. This one is called the Big Rainbow. This used to be my favorite tomato. And this one, of course, has some cat facing, is what that is called. And that's where 2 or more blooms fuse together and make a tomato. So they're still good, but more times than not, they kind of develop at different rates. One will almost always mature before the other one, and that's okay. I'll just slice it in a way that I can put it on a tomato sandwich. So this one is called the Rosa, and I love these. I've already tried these this year, but this is the first year I've had these. These are so uniform in size, and the way that they are so round. They're I think this is one is a hybrid. I'm not sure. I'd have to look. And then last but not least, this one is a hybrid, and this one is supposed to be more disease resistant. And you'll notice that it looks very similar to the Big Rainbow. The difference is that the Big Rainbow is an heirloom, and this one is called the Chef's Choice Bicolor, and it is a hybrid. So looking forward to trying the difference between those two. So today we're going to do the tomato test a little bit different than I usually do it. I usually do it by just cutting a slice, tasting half of it with salt, half of it without salt. But today I'm going to do a tomato sandwich for each one of them. So I have taken my toast that I usually like to make, that I usually like to use for a tomato sandwich, and I have cut it in 4. I've put some mayonnaise on each slice. So today I'm going to try a bite with no salt, no anything. Just take a taste of the tomato itself to get the full flavor of that. And then the second taste will be on a little piece of tomato sandwich. And then I won't have to make myself a tomato sandwich whenever I'm finished with the video. Isn't that genius, y'all? Okay, here we go. The Rosa. Chef's Choice Bicolor. And this one we're going to have to slice a little differently. Big Rainbow. And the one I am most excited about, the Sart Roloise. Okay, so the first one I'm going to try is the Big Rainbow. I've had this one before. This used to be my very favorite tomato in the world until the German Johnson came along. It is a delicious tomato. That is my first Big Rainbow this year. Oh, and it does not disappoint. It is so delicious, you all. It is very similar to what a lot of people know as a stripey. It's got the yellow and the red striping in it. So that's delicious, y'all. The next one I'm going to try, just because they're very similar in the way that they look, is the Chef's Choice Bicolor. It is also very similar looking to what most people know as a stripey tomato. So that is a good tomato, you all, but it doesn't taste anything like the Big Rainbow. That heirloom flavor really comes through in that Big Rainbow. It's a good tomato, though, don't get me wrong. And it is much more disease resistant than the heirloom variety. So, I mean, you could probably keep the plant longer, but if you want the most delicious tomato, the Big Rainbow, it tastes better. So let's move on to the Bella Rosa. It's a red tomato. That's a good tomato too. It's got a very classic red tomato flavor. And nothing really stands out superbly though. I mean, just, it's got great flavor though. All tomatoes have great flavor. It just doesn't have anything that really stands out to me. So last but not least, the one that I have really been wanting to try, the Sart Roloise. That's a good tomato. I don't even know how to describe that. It's like it starts off mild and then the flavor just kind of sinks into your palate. It's a really delicious tomato. It's not quite as tasty as my favorite yellow tomato, which is the Dr. Witchy's, but it is good nonetheless. So now we're going to try all of them on a little piece of toast with mayonnaise, salt, and pepper. This is going to be the tell-all, you guys. Okay, so here we go. It's trying to stick together. Let me cut that a little more. Okay, that was just a little too hard to do with one hand. So now we've got them all on some toast with a little bit of mayonnaise. I'm going to do some salt and pepper. Make a little mini sandwich. And let's see how this turns out. Okay, this is the Sart Roloise. Everything's better on a tomato sandwich, y'all, with toasted mayonnaise, salt, and pepper. Man, that's good. That is a beautiful tomato, you all. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? So beautiful, so delicious. It's going to be hard to pick a favorite, but I think I already know what my favorite's going to be. Here goes the Bella Rosa. It's always hard to beat that classic tomato flavor. Chef's Choice Bicolor. It's amazing how just a little bit of salt, pepper, mayonnaise, and toast really brings the flavor out in all of these tomatoes. So delicious. And now for the Big Rainbow. Well, it's not really hard to pick my favorite, but it's going to be hard to break down the last three. So my favorite is the big rainbow. Isn't that beautiful on the inside? All of that red striping through that yellow tomato. So beautiful. So that's my favorite one. Then probably my second one, and it's a close second between these two, the Bella Rosa and the Sart Roloise. The Bella Rosa just has that classic tomato taste that is just one of the most delicious flavors you'll ever have. And then last, but certainly not least, because it's delicious, the Chef's Choice Bicolor. And that's a beautiful tomato, and it's great tasting also. So they all turned out great. They are all delicious, but my favorite between all of these is the big rainbow. So I think one day I need to do another test with the big rainbow against the German Johnson. We'll see if the German Johnson is still my favorite. One of my favorite things to do with tomatoes is to make the summer salads, of course, like everybody else. So I love to do the cucumber and tomato salad with the feta on it. It's got like a little vinaigrette dressing that goes on it. And I'll tell you what I would really love to do this year, because another one of my favorite things to do with tomatoes is make salsa. So last year I made a peach salsa for the first time. And I tell you, every single time I took it to work or shared it with anyone, people would either want the recipe, want to know how much it would be if they bought it from me, or both. So this year I'm going to make some more peach salsa. And what I made last year, I didn't just use peaches, I used peaches and yellow tomatoes. So the colors really blended well together. So I really hope this year to have enough of the Sart Roloise tomatoes to make another peach salsa. So I'm so excited about it. It's one of the most delicious salsas I have ever had. And I think I probably done a video on that. And if I did, I'll post a link for it down below. The flies have caught scent of my tomatoes. So I'm going to wrap this thing up and get off here. So I hope you all have a great day. God bless you. And I hope you're growing lots of tomatoes.